brain, my heart, sports talk with Mike. How's it going out there? I'm doing pretty good. I just went to watch a Colorado Avalanche game. It'll be coming on soon, so I'm getting really excited for that. I'm really excited for today's episode. Hopefully you watched episode 1, which was yesterday, March 4th, 2013. Today, March 5th, 2013, is going to be about hockey. NHL today, I'm really excited about it. I'm really pumped, you know, just boom, 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 boom. Really excited. I dance. I don't know why. I'm not even drunk, I think. No, I'm pretty good. So, I like to talk about hockey. I talk to my wife about hockey all the time. And I'll be spitting out facts and statistics, and she's just looking at me like, I'm just telling her like, Colorado just, Ryan O'Reilly just got signed to an offer sheet. Oh my God, Colorado's gonna get a first round and third round pick from Calgary. Oh my gosh, oh no, Colorado just matched the offer. And she's just looking at me like, so at least she pretends to understand what I'm saying, or attempts to listen. It's somebody, it's an ear for me to spit this shit out at, right? Talking to my daughter who's 7, my son who's 4, I'll be telling them, oh, Colorado's an amazing team. You know what? Guys, they need defense. Jacob, you need to be a defenseman. And he's just looking at me like, what? Can I have a snack? So forget them. I'm talking to you guys. I don't even know how many people are watching this. I'm hoping a lot of people are going to watch this. So we're kicking off with the Colorado Avalanche. You'll know I'm a fan if you watched episode 1. If you did not know I'm a fan, what you're going to do, you're going to pause it after I tell you why. You're going to pause it. You're going to watch episode 1. You'll find out all about it. And then you're going to come back and watch episode 2, and I'll love you. So I'm going to tell you, I think Greg Sherman is an evil guy. I think he is destroying the franchise just with his trades. His trades and his free agent signings. Most notably, his biggest trade that the Colorado Avalanche lost on was when they traded Kevin Shattenkirk and Chris Stewart, and I believe a third round, or just a conditional pick, to the St. Louis Blues for Erik Johnson, who's completely overrated, Jay McClement, and a first round pick. So Jay McClement, he's now signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was with them not too long. So he just up and left. Toronto, they let him walk. Don't understand why, because he's a very good defensive forward. I liked him. He signed for $1.1 million. I could have lived with that. Erik Johnson, I believe he's an overrated player. He's drafted first overall by the St. Louis Blues back in 2006. I think he does more than he needs to because he's trying to live up to that height. But he's not figuring it out too well. Just by watching the games, it's really hard for me to watch, especially when the puck's on his stick. I mean, he'll score a goal here, but especially this year. I mean, he's injured right now, but so the players that went to, also they got the first round pick. They used it on Duncan Simmons. He looks like he can be an Adam Foote type player. So time will tell with that. But as of right now, St. Louis Blues have completely won that trade. They got Kevin Shattenkirk. He was in his rookie year. He was putting up fantastic numbers. And if you look at him now, his outlook pass is definitely amazing. It's always from stick to stick. He knows what he's doing. Great vision. Chris Stewart, they traded him because they thought he had attitude. And you know, if you know Colorado, you know that they don't put up with bullshit no matter how big or how little it is. They think it's about them, and if the player isn't about the organization and they're about themselves, and they can go. But it's funny how they didn't do that with Ryan O'Reilly, so it's really confusing. So Chris Stewart's doing pretty good, definitely a good power forward, putting up numbers there in St. Louis. So as of right now, St. Louis has won that trade. The other trade is when they traded, this is a small trade, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he's the one that made this trade. But they traded Johnny Boychuk to the Boston Bruins for Matt Hendricks, no, I'm pretty sure that was Francois Giger that actually made that trade. So scratch that. I can't even remember actually. Just Greg Sherman gets me that mad, and I knew it. I'm just mad now talking about Greg Sherman because I think he sabotaged the team. Quickly, another trade was Semyon Varlamov. They got him for a first round and a second round pick. The first round pick, Washington Capitals used to select Philip Forsberg. If you look at the video on him, if you look, he can be a very good second line forward in the NHL. And Varlamov, not not hurting him. I think he's a really good player, or a goaltender. The way that he moves from left to right, right to left, his pads are quick, gloves quick, but he's inconsistent at times. And not all fault on him, because Colorado's defensemen aren't the best in the league. Case in point, Greg Zanin, he blocks shots, but he gets pushed around quite easily, even by the smaller forwards in the NHL, and that creates a lot of goals. And him and Ryan O'Byrne are on the ice quite a bit when goals are scored, and it's hard for me to watch. But what you'll see from Varlamov is when he's on point, he is the best goaltender in the NHL. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me, because you got Henrik Lundqvist and Pekka Rinne, Greg Anderson's on point right now, and you got Jonathan Quick. But when you watch him, it's just the forwards, the offense coming at him, they just look at him and they're mind blown, because they don't know what they're going to do to beat this goaltender, because anything that they throw at him, he just kicks away and like, whatever, get out of here. But when he lets in soft goals, he lets in soft goals, and it's brutal. I think he's too much of a liability for Colorado to have a net, and I think after his second year, I think I think he's still a restricted free agent, so I think they try and trade him. They got Calvin Pickard in the minor leagues when he come up. I think he can carry Colorado, and I think he's doing pretty good for Lake Erie. So that's another trade I think that they messed up on. The other trade that they messed up on was asking too much for Ryan O'Reilly. Why not just trade Ryan O'Reilly to the Rangers for Michael Del Zotto and a second round pick? Nothing wrong with that at all. I would have done that in a heartbeat. They pressed their luck on it, and now they're stuck with his deal. So time will tell. Let's see what happens with that. So that's why I believe Greg Sherman is sabotage, and just he's made a couple good trades. They got traded Kyle Quincy to the Tampa Bay Lightning for Steve Downey, who we all know is an agitator, but he found a little bit of offensive touch with Colorado when he came over. He's out for the year, so that's a bummer. But Colorado didn't lose on that trade. Kyle Quincy, he's solid, but Steve Downey needs to step up from him. And what's funny is that when Colorado traded him to Tampa Bay flipped Kyle Quincy actually to the Detroit Red Wings for a first-round pick. And Tampa Bay, I believe, selected Slater Kukoc. That's a funny name. I don't think I'm even pronouncing it right, but I'd rather say Kukoc. I think it's funnier. But Slater something, Koekoek, Kukoc. So from that, I think Colorado won on that. Steve Downey, he did pretty well. I don't like him at times just because I believe he takes stupid penalties. The other trade, they traded Daniel Winnick and TJ Gallardi to the San Jose Sharks. Gallardi's still with the Sharks, but he scored a goal this year, and Daniel Winnick went signed with the Anaheim Ducks. Colorado in return got Jamie McGinn. You know that he was putting up quite a bit of goals and numbers up there as soon as he came over. And this year he's not doing too bad at about 12, 13 points, putting up decent numbers. Then they got a couple minor leaguers, Mike Connolly, who looks like he's actually doing pretty well there in AHL. We'll see what happens with him. Michael Scarbosa, he was a scoring leader for the OHL, and that transitioned to the AHL. He was called up a couple games this year for the Colorado. He didn't do too much, didn't really notice him unless he was in the penalty box, just because it was a little bit different style for him, so he's we'll see what happens with that. Winner for that, I believe, was Colorado. With free agent signings, they signed Greg Zanin to a 2-year, $2.5 million per year deal. That that's just made no sense to me to kind of sign him. And when they got guys like Tyson Barrie, Stephon Elliott waiting in the minor leagues to pop up, and that just that was a I guess so mad. They did sign Pay Parent, who was doing pretty good. He's actually scored more goals than he did with the Islanders, so that was a decent signing. And John Mitchell, he scored more goals in 20 games with Colorado Avalanche this year than he did in 64 games with the New York Rangers last year. So he's a good pickup, relatively cheap, and a year and a half. $1.5 million a year for 2 years. So not too bad. So sabotaging Colorado is Greg Sherman. That's what he's doing. 80% of it is sabotage, 20% of it is luck. So that's Colorado. That's Greg Sherman. Forget you. Another thing that kind of was a little bit on my mind, as an Avalanche fan, Paul Stastny, he's got paid $6.5 million, and he's averaging about 50 points a year. He put up 78 points in his rookie year, second only to Evgeny Malkin, and then he's just kind of fallen off since then. But he's getting paid $6.5 million for putting up 50 points a year. That's the point production isn't there for him. You can look at Phil Kessel. He's a goal scorer. He's not scoring goals this year. He's known to be a fast starter. Maybe this year he decides to go slow, and then he's going to go super fast, and he's going to win the Maurice Rocket Richard. That's a possibility. You never know what's going to happen, right? But he's kind of having a down year. And then Alexander Ovechkin, who we all know, ever since Montreal beat Washington there in the playoffs, because of Yaroslav Halak, who's just doing amazing. The whole situation with Ovechkin is that he went offense, smile, offense. Maybe I'll back check if there's time. Now they're kind of, they want to incorporate defense. They didn't want to score 8 goals and 7 goals. Now they want to bring it down to a more reasonable number. Which is completely understandable. But that's not Ovechkin's style of play. He's a go-getter. He wants to, instead of creating space for his team, he wants to create space for himself. And just watched a video earlier this morning where he's going to the bench and the other team, instead of back-checking, and the opposing team scores a goal. 6 times I've seen that, and that's just from what I've seen. 3 was in the exact same game. So he's really, I don't think he's happy with the direction the Washington Capitals are going with. I don't think that they can trade him. He has a long-term deal, a high dollar amount, so he'd be pretty difficult to move. And I don't think they'd move him. I believe he's a franchise for Washington. I think they just need to incorporate his style of play with their style of play, which would mean that Alexander Ovechkin has to suck up his pride and play hockey. I don't think, the thing, of course, he has a long-term deal, so I don't think he's going to the KHL, unlike Pavel Datsyuk. I think he'll go after that's something different. We're not even talking about Pavel Datsyuk, he's not falling off. Last thing that I'm going to talk about in tonight's episode is the upcoming NHL draft. For myself, I want the Colorado Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup. If they don't win the Stanley Cup, I hope they make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, I want them to be the worst team in the NHL. You want to know why? The reason being, I can give you 5. Seth Jones, Nathan MacKinnon, Jonathan Drouin, Sean Monahan, Alexander Barkov. Actually, I don't want Valeri Nichushkin. I think he's going to be good, but I just you get a bad feeling sometimes. Not all Russian players are going to be like that, but you look at Alexander Radulov and it takes time for them to come over. So I wouldn't want Colorado drafting him. Just for that sake, I don't want it to him decide to stay in the KHL. So I want Colorado to select my hometown, Nathan MacKinnon from Halifax. He plays for the Halifax Mooseheads. I love for him to be drafted by the Colorado Avalanche. I think he can fall down to 4th or 5th, so if Colorado could get there, I'd be happy. Take him, scoop that guy up, take him, go. He's quick, he's got speed, he's definitely got a quick shot. People are looking at him like, you know what, the reason he's dropping down is because he's, you know what, it's really hard for me when people say that there's better players than him in the draft. But in his rookie season in the Q, he did amazing. And this year he took it up a notch. But the problem is that the other players that are in this upcoming draft, they're just doing more than what was expected of them. They expect Nathan MacKinnon to be good, so now he's got to be great. They weren't expecting Jonathan Drouin to do what he's doing. Seth Jones, he's doing better than what everyone expected. So I want Nathan MacKinnon. What I think a need for Colorado is to draft Jonathan Drouin, a winger for the Halifax Mooseheads. His his high hockey IQ. I didn't drink. I swear to God, I didn't drink. It's insane. His vision is incredible. They need a winger, so he'd be perfect for them. But what I think Colorado would end up doing is, if they had the opportunity, is draft Seth Jones for the Portland Winterhawks, the defenseman. That's what they need. He's a right-hand shot, and that's what they need. He was his father, Popeye Jones, played for the Denver Nuggets, so He learned hockey while in Denver, so that'd be perfect for him. But Colorado needs defense, so they go with him. And Sean Monahan, he does look like he looks like a decent forward, centerman. That could work well for that. So Alexander Barkov, I think he'd be pretty tough to move off the puck. I think he has a skill set that not a lot of players have in this draft. So any of those guys I'd be happy with. So that's what I'm saying. If Colorado doesn't make the playoffs, I hope they bomb. Not on purpose though. Like I want them to continue to try. But I hope they get unlucky so that I can get one of those players in the draft. So that's my hope. And we'll only see. April 29th, 2013 is the NHL Draft Lottery. So that's when I'll find out if we have a chance of one of those players. So that is episode 2 of my sports show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There was no questions because no one emailed me because apparently no one watched episode 1, which you guys should do. Just watch episode 1. You can email me. Email down at the bottom, sportstalkwithmike@hotmail.com. You can follow me at Twitter at sportstalkwithmike, or is it it's at sportswithmike. Follow me. I'm funny, kind of. I think I'm actually kind of funny. I think I talk from the heart, and I don't just pussyfoot around things. I'll tell you exactly how it is. So I think that's just it's different, and I think people would enjoy doing that, right? Just sitting there watching me. I actually love it if someone was to say, "Hey, I'll talk to you. I'll call you. Put you on speakerphone. We'll have a debate. Let's go. We just won't say the F word more than 3 times." So that's it. That's my brain, my heart, sports talk with Mike. I don't have any beer left. Wish I had a beer.